This month's club card is really cute. I happened upon it on a YouTube video from a Stampin' Up! Gal, and I love that it folds into an envelope but stands up on the desk. Here's where you can follow me, and also please remember to subscribe and click the bell for notifications. So here's my first sample of this card. I used a daisy as my center highlight. I love this. It in person, it just stands up and looks really sweet on the desk. My family thought that it looked like a TIE fighter when you first made it, but we'll get into that later. So for this card, you need just a few basic supplies. You need a card base. In this case, we're using the Bluebell cardstock that's 4 inches by 9 inches. And then for decoration, I added 4 pattern paper that's 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 square. And then you can have your featured mat, which is the yellow piece with the daisy behind it in my sample, can be up to 2 1/4 inches square. The one that I make with the butterfly at the end is 2 inches square. So just so you know. So the first thing you need to do is from all sides, which ends up being 3, you need to score in 2 inches. So score in 2 inches from the left side, flip it around, score in 2 inches again from the left side because we now have a new left, turn it long ways and score down the middle at 2 inches. That's all the scoring you're going to do with your scoreboard or on your cutter, because you're going to need to now mark off some dots. So from the score line, so from the folded lines, you're going to mark in 1.5 inches from both of the score lines towards the center, top and bottom. And then on the center score line, from your score, your side score lines from your side folds, you're going to mark in 1/2 inch. So I'm just lining up the, I'm using the grid paper on my mat and making my 1.5 inches, all 4 of those. And then from the center score cross, you're going to do 1/2 inch towards the center of the card. And these are where you're going to make your next 4 score lines. So you're going to connect the 2 dots that you just put on there. So 1/2 inch in the center out to 1.5 inches on the outside of the card, and there's 4 of these. So I'm going to do that 4 times, and don't do it to the cross piece of the 2 scores. Make sure that you make your new score line to your dots. And that's all this takes. And I don't have anything under this paper. It's just a hard desk, hard surface underneath. You could put a mouse pad or a piece of foam or something under if you want. It's not really necessary. So, but you'll see that I do go over each score line twice. This next part is the hardest part of the card, and it's the fold. So you're going to go ahead and just fold all your score lines and crease them. The edge folds and the center fold are pretty easy. It's the diamond fold in the center that you have to just kind of be careful of. So I'm just kind of pinching it together underneath between my fingers, and I'm following that score line. And you just want to be careful, take it slow. So once you get it started, we'll end up enforcing that fold when it's flat on the desk, but for now you can see that it's starting to get its shape. So do both sides that way. And like I said, you just have to get it started so that it's a clean fold. And here you'll see where it gets reinforced once we kind of get it started, and it can go flat on the desk. And it's not difficult, it just, you have to kind of play with it slowly. So, and then I just sneak in under each of those squares that are on the corner to reinforce the folds. And that just gives it a crisp edge, and will make it lay nicely, and it actually pops up nicely to be on the desk. So there you go. And this is at the point that my family says it's a TIE fighter. So now you just glue and embellish it however you want. I sped up the video a bit because you can decide how you want to embellish it. This is a new paper pack. it's just a paper from the new paper pack called Eat, Play, Love. It actually has a kitchen theme. So on the back side of this is a yellow plaid versus the flowers on the front, and I just wanted the flowers. The stamp set that I'm using is the March Stamp of the Month. I know that's not available yet, but save your coins because I love this one. It has a beautiful floral big butterfly. I think it's got to be a 3-inch butterfly easily, and then a dragonfly that also has a 3-inch wingspan at least. And the wings of both the dragonfly and the butterfly are all flowers, kind of like the medallion, but they're not quite symmetrical. They're really cute. And it has great sayings on it as well. I punched out 3 butterflies, 2 in the yellow cardstock and then 1 in an extra piece from this Eat, Play, Love paper. And then I'm pop dotting the wings up so that it kind of looks like it's fluttering. And I always use my tweezers to help hold I glued the body together. And just to add a little shimmer, I just added the clear shimmer brush on top of all of the butterfly. So now, I'm sorry I'm off screen, I'm just wiping the edge of the sentiment in the Bluebell cardstock. It gives it kind of a feathery look. You could also achieve that with a brush or a sponge or a blending tool, anything that puts ink on the end. I like the look of dragging it across the ink pad. The one thing to be careful on, and I don't know if you caught it, was when you add your center sentiment, you want to make sure that it's far enough down on the card that it doesn't exceed 4 1/4 or like 4.5 inches tall. Otherwise, it won't fit into a standard card envelope. But otherwise, you're good to go. So there's my birthday wishes. I'm going to add the butterfly. I will add some sequins. And then this card will be ready to put in the mail to a friend who has a birthday coming up in the next couple weeks. So these are sequins that are left from one of the Craft with Heart card kits. And so I'm showing you my sample that I just went ahead and added some sequins. I just open this up, and I like the white glue for sequins because it stays a little tacky when it's wet, or when it's dry, So even when it's dry, it's a little tacky, and so I think sequins and plastic items stay on better than with the white aqua Tombow glue. So, and you'll see I was kind of struggling with my jewel picker, so I just kind of used it almost like an eraser on my pad and got the glue off of it, and now it's working much better. So I work in 3s or odd numbers, kind of make a triangle of different skews. And when I looked at it, it's like, okay, the bottom of the center needs some sequins, so this time I just added 2, which keeps odd numbers on the card in general, and I think looks just fine. So this is the card. This is it. Hopefully you will have some fun creating them. I could see me making a whole bunch of bases and just rocking out some great cards. Have a great day. Please remember to subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye.